Hello and welcome to my May highlights. I was shocked at April highlights going so quickly, and now May has just completely come and gone. So is it me, or are the months just getting faster and faster? So what have we done over the last month? Well, let's go in and check out Samadan first. So as you can see, there's a bit of a change of scenery for Samadan's home location. We have actually relocated to Booty Bay. Now there's a very good reason for that, apart from the nice jaunty music and scenery. If we pop out of the inn and head on down, you can see here the arrangement is very, very convenient. We have the mailbox here, we have a guild vault here, we have the auctioneer here, and we have the banker here. There's another guild vault just over here in case this one gets crowded, which it often does. And so this makes it a lot easier, because Samadan was doing a lot of running back and forth to the mailbox, to the bank, and to the guild vault, because they've got so much stuff stored. So at the suggestion of Jack the Dipper, I've moved over to Booty Bay, and I'm really liking it. So the extra bonus is if we mount up and just fly up over the top and over the cliffs at the back, we can occasionally check out for the Admiral's hat pattern, which is down here.
Something?
No luck today, but one day I'm hoping we can pick that up and be able to sell that at the same time. So let's look at the gold that we've made so far in May. Now the ledger has changed format, with this being TSM4 beta, and so now we don't get the summary here. We get a summary on the main screen though. So what we're going to do is the gold bars, the gold graph is working now. So if we look at the past month, this is where it started working, and so that's sitting at 730,000 gold, and we've gone over all the way up to, what's that? I can't see that. 1,490,000 gold roughly. So I make that, by my calculations, to be 760,000 in the month of May, if that's to be believed. It says down here the total profit is 590,000, so bear those in mind. Between 590 and what we see here, I mean, I am at 1,404,000. So this is most likely taking into account all characters and guilds, as we've got Samadan the bank, the guild bank, which doesn't have any money in it, and then we've got all my other characters, which probably have about 50,000 gold on them. But looking at the chart, we have made about 700,000 gold, 760,000, so I'm really happy with that. Now the big thing that also happened in May was there was the announcement for the Battle for Azeroth Brutosaur mount, which you've probably heard about now, which has gotten me really excited. It is a mount that's a great big dinosaur for one, and for two, it's got an auction house on the back, which I think is just amazing, really good fun, and I'm set myself a challenge to buy it. Now the only slight problem is it's 5 million gold. Now I've been working towards that target. As soon as I found out about it, and kind of like the first couple of weeks of May, I've been working my way and changing my strategy. My strategy originally in April was to get all my professions up to 800. So what I'm doing now is, instead of trying to get all the professions, I'm just trying to get ones that I can whilst concentrating on the gold making. Because if you look at the 760,000 a month, that's not enough to get me to 5 million. So that works out at 25,000 gold per day. Now, in order to get the mount, if we look at my chart that I've made, this is the chart that I've made as a target of 45,000 gold per day. Now, obviously, with my current strategies, we're not making it. You can see here the blue lines represent, since the beginning, the middle of May, until the end of May, we've made all this gold, starting from about 1 million. We've gone from 967,000 to 1,404,000. So this is my target. This is my actual gold here. And then my target gold is this red line here. So obviously we're going under target at the moment, So this is where I'm going to look into expanding other professions. So there was something that I did mainly, and that was changed Awakening, my troll druid. I've moved him over to the Alliance side, and that means I can pool my resources, because it was okay making gold on his own in isolation. That was an interesting channel in its own sense, but in order to make this 5 million, I've got to pool all my resources. So looking at what I can do, so what we're bringing into the table is the professions alchemy and herbalism, which is going to be on Awakening. And then we've also got El Morty, my Death Knight, who's got the mining and the blacksmithing, and that pairs really well with the alchemy, because we've gone for Transmute Master. Again, thanks to the tips from Jack, we've gone full onto Transmute, so we're doing Living Steel and all the things like that. In fact, let's look at the gold that we've made so far. So this is everything from the last 30 days. You can see the kind of sales that I've had. Been quite a few. Let's change this for the big selling items. Just see the big ticket items, because that's always interesting. The big one here by far is this Orb of Deception. Now I picked this up about a month ago, doing a Shadow Silk farm, and here it is. We finally sold it for quite a nice price of 47,000. Now normally the region market average is 43,000, so I actually sort of got a good deal on that one. So really happy, that boosted my sales. And the rest of the things are my standard enchants. There's a Mooncloth robe in there, a Hydral expedition bag, and here we go, here's some living steel. So this is coming in at a really nice price at the moment. So this is the start of the alchemy journey, and already Awakening has added to the gold pool really nicely. We're still at early stages yet, but that's a really nice addition to my enchanting. Now one thing since doing this challenge is I've noticed the profit margins and the sales overall have really gone down. Now this is mainly because people are leaving the game or doing other things, I think, because obviously Battle for Azeroth isn't out yet, and so people are trying something else out. They're not necessarily playing so much, and there's been a noticeable lull in the amount of sales. So whilst I'm still doing okay on my average, about 23,000 a day, I actually need to double my gold income. So for the month of June, I'm trying to look ahead and say, okay, so what can I do? I've got enchanting, I can still get a few sales of those. I've got my cooking, which I'm still getting the Lavish Suramar Feast sales mainly. We did have a drought at one time where there were no big gamey ribs, so I bought up all of those, tried to sell some more for a higher price, but that didn't work out, so we ended up just putting our lavishes back on at normal price. They've gone back up to about 400 gold now. So the standard sales are going well, but what we need to do is, the way for me to make more gold is, because I've still got a limited playtime, so I'm looking at things like, okay, what other farms could I do? You know, could it be something like volatiles, or more cloth like ember silk, or other materials that people might need? Now that I've got a herbalist, I could maybe farm some herbs or something like that. I don't know yet what's going to be my best gold makers, but we're going to give it a go in June. The main thing we're trying to do at the moment is consolidate the professions we've got and expand on those with the alchemy and the blacksmithing and the mining and the herbalism. So getting back to our sales, let's have a look, see if there's anything else that we managed to sell. We did have some good sales of delicious chocolate cake. That was during Children's Week. We managed to jump on that, and we made a whole load of those and sold them for nearly 4,000 gold per item. And they only cost me 18 gold to make, so that's almost pure profit. So that was fantastic. Obviously that's a once in a while event, so that's not going to help anyone now, but it's an interesting thing just to look out for events like that and look if there's anything you've got as a resource to be able to say, okay, I can make use of this, you know, whether it's Darkmoon Fair or some other special events that's coming up, and see if you've got any resources that you can capitalize on. I'm certainly going to be looking out for a few more myself. Lots more enchants. Hexweave bags are still selling strongly, obviously because people are making new characters still. So we've got all of that to go through, some more living steel, more enchants, Nomi snacks we're still doing. So that's all the main stuff. So you can see this is mainly enchants. Don't know what that unknown item is, probably something that's changed. And here comes some feasts. We got a few at 521, a few silkweave satchels, a few obliterum sails. So the standard stuff that we've been doing over the past month is still working, but now we're adding in a few alchemy bits and pieces, as well as our tailoring, cooking and enchanting. So we're expanding our market. So hopefully, if we go back to our chart, my plan is, even though I'm going at my standard rate now, which is under target, I'm hoping by introducing more professions and more different methods of making gold, while still keeping the same kind of playtime that I've gotten. Obviously you could, if you really want to increase gold, you just play more. I mean, that's the thing, time does equal money. But what I'm trying to do is make use of the playtime that I've got, the few hours after work, and it's the same as many people really. So I'm going to try and make sure that I can make my gold in different ways, or try and be a bit more efficient with my gold making. So the plan is to hopefully double this up and get above this line once we start doing more of my professions. So here's Jawakening in his Worgen Druid form now. Let's have a look at what he's been doing. So here he is with his alchemy. Let's have a look at, we're at skill level 742, so we're not fully along the way yet, and we haven't collected all the recipes, but we have gotten a few, and we're mainly concentrating on the transmutes because we picked up Transmute Master. So if I switch over to my regular user interface, I've favorited a lot of the things that I'm looking to make. So we've got the main ones, the Riddle of Steel and the Transmute Living Steel. Now, the one thing I really noticed on my server, I'm not sure if it's particular across many other low pop servers, but the materials like Trillium Bar are really in short supply, and so I'm going to have to go out and either find a way of getting my materials or working out how to get all the things and convert them into one thing into another, which is why I really need a miner. Now, I did a chart. So if we go down here and we have a look at this chart that I made, all to do with the living steel transmute and what you needed to do and how you could get hold of things. I based this off of Jack's list on his website. He's got a blog now, so if you go down to there and Jack the Dipper, and I'll put a link in the description below and you can check out his blog, because this really helped me get started with all of my alchemy transmutes. Now this is mainly about living steel, so I was looking at, okay, so how can I get living steel, what do I need, because this was all new to me. I had to learn about the materials, a bit like I had to learn about enchanting when I first started that, because I wasn't familiar with all these things and how you got them and what you did with them. So the living steel obviously coming from the Trillium Bars, there aren't many of those on the server, so how can you get Trillium Bars? You can do a Transmute Trillium Bar. To do a Transmute Trillium Bar you need Ghost Iron Bars, and Ghost Iron Bars are also hard to get on my server, so I'm on the lookout for both Trillium Bars and Ghost Iron Bars, and if I do get any of them, then I can merge them in to this section where I can use Riddle of Steel and Spirits of Harmony, because that's got no daily cooldown, or I could use the regular Living Steel which has a cooldown and just use 6 Trillium, depending on what things I've got. Now, if I did have a miner, I would be able to do things like Smelt Trillium, which comes in here, which I've got black and white Trillium ore, which you can buy from the Spirit of Harmony vendor. So it all ties in together, and this is kind of my process in learning a new profession and how all the different things relate to each other. So this has been really useful for me to get my head round a new profession. I really struggled to start with, so I started small with a small subset of list of things to do. So we've got Living Steel, Primordial Ruby, River's Heart, Sun's Radiance, these are for the Panthers, and then there's the Transmute Trillium Bar, and then we've got Wild Jade, that's another one. I actually use the Wild Jade for some of my other enchanting things. And then Pyrium Bar, it shares the same cooldown as Living Steel, but then again we need Elementium Bars, Volatile Earth. So what I've done is we've also got True Gold here. And so those are the main things, and Potion of Treasure Finding as well, which is also useful because it ties back into Samadan, and using the Potion of Treasure Finding when he's doing like the Ember Silk Cloth farm over at the Bastion of Twilight. So all the characters are starting to work together now, which is how I'm going to maximise my gold making in the future. So I've made more groups. My TSM group has expanded. So we've now got a Alchemy Group and Alchemy shopping lists. So the Alchemy stuff has, I'm on the lookout for all the things for the Alchemy items, the Spirits of Harmony and the ore, looking at both the spirits and the motes of harmony, because 10 motes equals 1 spirit. And then the things I want to look out for the transmute stuff, the pyrium, the trillium, ghost iron bars and elementium bars. And then treasure finding potions. Now this is another thing that's been in really short supply, was the cinder bloom and whiptail. Couldn't really find much on my server, so I have to go out and herb that. Now the thing with that is my herbalism skill wasn't high enough, so I'm having to level up my herbalism until I can get that high enough so I can go get some more cinder bloom myself, farm it myself and maximise my profit margins. And then we've got the volatiles and the chaos orbs. I need these, so I'm just kind of looking out for them and seeing if I can buy any. And then we've got the actual group itself for alchemy, which I've expanded on. I haven't done any crafting operations yet, but we've got the basic living steel, the panthers, the potion of luck, potion of treasure finding and true gold. Now potion of luck, we haven't sold any yet. It is grey, so don't try selling lots of them, but apparently you still need 2 of them for the potion master quest line for an alchemist. Now obviously if you're an alchemist you can make this yourself, but I'm going to have a go at selling those. Now the other thing to tie in with alchemy is we've started the Half Hill farm in Pandaria. So here's Half Hill Farm off in the distance. Now, I've never done this before because when I leveled Samadan through the first time, I got as far as this point and then I had out-leveled the area and I moved over to Warlords of Draenor. So for me, this is the first time experiencing it, so it's been a really nice highlight for me is to get used to some more Pandarian stuff and all the things that it involves. I've really enjoyed doing the Half Hill Farm to start off with. We've got our reputation down here, the Tillers, which we're just up to almost revered at the moment, I think that is. And so what we need to do, this is what our farm would look like with when it's all completely cleared, but obviously we're not at that stage yet, so it's all weed encrusted at the moment. And we've got all these daily quests to do with Farmer Yoon, and then we go over here, we've got a few daily quests to do here, all for the reputation. We need to plant seeds, and so I'm going through and I'm following a Wowhead guide mainly for the most of this, but it's pretty self-explanatory really. You just have to follow all the quests that go along here, and then there's the daily quests that you then need to go over to this area over here in the distance, and you do various things with the hosen that are over there stealing the crops. And that's about it really. So I'm on my way with this. This is going to, the main reason I'm doing this is so that I can plant things like Golden Lotus and be able to trade those in for things like Spirit of Harmony or use them in my potion making. So this is the whole point of the Half Hill Farm, is to give me access to more resources, a bit like I have with Samadan and the Warlords of Draenor tailoring for the Hexweave bags. This is a similar principle. And also with Warlords of Draenor for Awakening here, we've got the herb garden set up so that every time I go over there I can just do a quick circuit of the herb garden and skill up that way, because our professions at the moment, we're at 742 with alchemy, but only at 364 for herbalism, so we really need to get this leveled up so that we can then do some more herbalism farms and then make more gold, which is the whole point of it. Plus also we're having fun with characters and doing new things, so there's a double thing there. Now sadly, Irfan has been much neglected in the whole of May. We've only basically used him for mainly doing basic leather working for the Drums of Fury and selling the bear tartar that he's got stock of. So I really haven't utilised my leatherworking and skinning fully yet. I've kind of concentrated on the alchemy in May and getting that off the ground, which has proved to be really profitable. But Irfan's still there, we've still got his abilities, we've still got skinning, and the things I'm looking at doing next with Irfan is the dread leather and seeing if we can sell some of that, because people still are leveling characters through. So looking at the dread leather, even though I haven't got full rank 3s, I still might be able to make a profit on a few of these, and the same with the graven scale. So I'm going to give this a go in June and see if we get anything extra with that. But we've also got our standard things. We've got the the Drums of Fury, which are still selling, and I'm doing the cooldowns here. We've had the occasional sale of the crafted gladiators stuff. That's also been useful. The other thing we need to do with Earthen is probably finish off a few more leatherworking quests, see if we can get a few more rank 3s, and just basically get him ready for BFA, while still trying to make a little bit of gold on the side. But he's not been my main focus in May, so perhaps in June we have another look and see if we can expand on the leatherworking side of things once we've also gotten the alchemy working as well. Now, last but not least, not counting the other smaller characters here, El Morty is now at level 61. We've done a little bit of levelling, not nearly as much as we need to get him skilled up. He really needs to be at Mr. Pandaria level, so we've got a lot of levelling to do. So that's going to be one of my focuses for quite a bit of my playtime during June, because I know that once I've got him leveled up to that level, and I've got my mining and smelting leveled up to the similar level, then we can start utilising that side of things and really pull in some more gold. So we're just going through the Wrath of the Lich King Northrend area at the moment. Really good fun exploring the area again, because I haven't done that in years. So that's another thing. But all in all, it's been a pretty fantastic month. I've been really pleased with our new challenge, our new target we're going for, Road to 5 million. It's a good challenge for me, because my daily gold making isn't enough. So I'm going to have to stretch myself and think creatively about how I'm going to make some gold over the next few months until the middle of August. So we've got a really good challenge ahead of us. I'm really looking forward to the whole of June and July to see where we go with our gold. So please do follow along. You're more than welcome to take a copy of this chart. I've got a link to it in the description below, and you can find it there. You can take a copy and follow along on the challenge. So I'm really looking forward to June and what kind of gold we're going to make. Now, in other news, in terms of targets and goals, we smashed our goal for Twitch. We've gone way over 1,000 follows on that, and I did my drawing giveaway for Gen Greymane. We also smashed my target for YouTube, 1,000 subscribers. So a big, massive thank you for everyone who's really helped me get these goals accomplished. You know, it's a nice milestone for me to go for, and gives me a new, fresh target to go for, like 2,000 followers on Twitch and 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. And it really helps me keep me focused on, you know, developing the channel, and it keeps me motivated to provide good content for you. And I'm really, really thankful. So thank you everyone for all your support and all your generosity over the past few months. It's been amazing, so big thank you very much to that. So there we go, another month done. Thank you all for following along, and I've been really enjoying all the things I've been doing in World of Warcraft and sharing it with you all. So I'm really looking forward to June, see what kind of gold we can make, see if we can get that graph looking a bit more closer to that red, which is the next challenge. So thank you very much, and happy gold making, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.